Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS in.form. I'm your host, Bill Potter. Today we're going to meet a candidate running for Jasper City Council in District Number 3. That is Chad Lueken. Chad, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Bill.
Well, we're glad to have you here. Let's start things off, Chad, if you would. Tell the viewers about yourself.
Sure. I'm a lifelong resident of DuBois County. My family's been here since 1850. My children are the 7th generation of Luekens in DuBois County. I'm the youngest of 3 brothers. I picked very good parents, Ruth and Leon Lueken. My dad and brothers and me were all veterans of military service. So my father retired from Jasper Engines. My mother was a stay-at-home mom. She went to the workforce after we were raised. I earned a degree in history from St. Meinrad College and went to teach for 2 years at Washington Catholic High School. Came back in 1999 to establish an insurance practice right here in Jasper with the Knights of Columbus. In May of 2000, I was promoted to general agent. I was the youngest of about 135 general agents in the United States and Canada at the time. Did that for 13 years, recruiting and training field agents to do the job that I first learned to do. It took me 13 years to learn the best job I ever had was being field agent. So in 2013, I went back to doing that to focus on the Jasper market, and have been doing that since then. My wife, Yvonne, the former Yvonne Werner, between the Werners and Luekens, we're related to pretty much half the county. So we've raised 2 children to adulthood here so far. We're raising 7 more. And we're having a very good time doing that. We're parishioners at St. Joseph Church, and I'm an active member of the Knights of Columbus here in Jasper, member of the Jasper Rifle and Gun Club, and DuBois County Right to Life. We are also, I'm a registered leader in Boy Scouts of America, so we're very community focused.
Why are you running for Jasper City Council?
Mainly because I'm concerned about the future of Jasper, Bill. Jasper's been very good to me and my family, and I'd like very much, like many of us, for our children to be able to come back and raise families of their own. But we're going to have some challenges in that area. Right now, we're lagging behind state averages in the age demographics 18 to 44. And that's about the only thing Jasper is playing second fiddle in right now, and I think we can win that battle if we focus on the right things. Employers right now are local businesses are employing as many people that can be employed right now, and in order for them to grow, they're going to have an adequate workforce. So that's our biggest priority, I feel.
Okay. Now, you're running in District 3. Just kind of where is District 3 so folks have an idea?
Sure. District 3 is really the heart of Jasper. It's the southern border is 6th Street running west from Newton Street. The north border is really West 15th Street. On out to the west side of the city. And it's really, I call it the heart of Jasper because it contains a lot of the treasures of Jasper, St. Joseph Church, Cabby O'Neill Gymnasium, Ruxer Field, Memorial Hospital, really the heart of Jasper.
Now, what qualities do you bring to the office, or what qualifies you for the office?
Sure. Well, I've paid my dues, I feel, working with families in their homes for the most part on some very important financial matters. So I'm really close to the pulse of the people and understand their everyday problems that they're facing, their goals and concerns. And I think the fact that I've been doing it for so long has really it's a show of the trust that I've built over the course of time. So that unique perspective really will help. I think I'm the kind of person people want to see on the city council, just a regular guy trying to represent everyday interests of people. So my business experience is certainly one of the big pluses. And then, raising a family, I think with 9 children, I think we know something about budgeting.
I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Now, you kind of alluded to this with the age demographics, but what are concerns or issues you think the city of Jasper is facing now and in the future?
Yeah. Well, job number one for any city council is fiscal responsibility and budget integrity. So, people work hard for their money, and I think we need to respect that and spend that money on things that really matter and make a difference in the lives of people. Studies have shown that if you're really wanting to attract new talent and retain that talent, you can get them there by focusing on the right things. Infrastructure. People will move. More than half of all households have moved in the last 10 years, and people will move for quality schools, and that's not the purview of the city council, but certainly we can encourage and participate in things that will benefit schools. But the second thing cited most often is good infrastructure. We need good streets and sidewalks. We might need to revisit the way we address sidewalks in this city. You'll see a very beautiful sidewalk in a neighborhood and then a yard with no sidewalk at all, and then on the other side of that property another sidewalk. And that's a public safety issue, really, at the end of the day. People want safe neighborhoods, and I think that's where our spending priority is going to need to be on good infrastructure. There's water lines and sewers that need to be improved and upgraded and replaced. Those are some immediate things. I think also long term we need to be thinking regionally. The Mid-States corridor is a very high priority in the area. And I think many communities will benefit from that. It'll also help us diversify our local economy. So the next big recession right around the corner, who knows how far away that is. But when that happens, if we're more diversified locally, maybe we can weather that storm a little better. The Mid-States corridor will certainly help us toward that end. And it'll also help us be competitive with the rest of the state as well. I think those are priorities. And at the end of the day, just having a government that's responsive to people is very key.
How are you and your opponent different?
Yeah, my opponent is Daniel Kryline, and we haven't heard much from his campaign. We sent an invitation early on to sit down and over coffee and talk about issues. We haven't heard back on that yet, but I think that might be one of the differences, just campaign style. I've been very much focused on going door to door, engaging people where they're at in their neighborhoods and where the issues are closest to them. And I think maybe Daniel's more of a hands-off kind of approach as far as that goes. Another area is certainly age. Daniel's 27, I'm 44. So I've been out of college and working for the last 22 years, so since he's 5 years old. And like President Reagan once said, I'm not going to exploit for political purposes my opponent's youth and inexperience. What I will say is that my experience has prepared me well to serve on city council now. And I think he seems to be a fine man, and he's been quoted as saying it's time for he says it's time for his generation to step up, and I agree that young people need to be engaged, whether it's in politics and in public service, or whether it's serving on commissions and committees and boards attached to or connected with our cities, towns, and counties, or whether it's just being in a volunteer capacity, working in different volunteer groups, civic organizations and whatnot. It's important that we're engaged. Everybody has something to offer, and I think the more of that's going on, the more we contribute, the stronger our communities are going to be, and the better it makes for a better world. I think we all benefit from that.
Now, at this point, this is an opportunity for you to look right at the viewers and give your final thoughts and reasons to vote for you.
So I've met three kinds of people in going door to door. I've met lifelong residents of Jasper. Perhaps their families have been here for generations. I've met people who've moved here for work and fell in love with Jasper and chose to stay. And I've met their parents who have moved here to be close to their kids and grandkids. And I didn't know that was a trend before beginning my campaign, but I've come to learn that it's happening quite a bit. I'm glad to see that. I welcome that. We're glad you're here. For those who know me, you'll agree that I stand for the Jasper values that I've termed strong work ethic, competitive spirit, generosity, religious zeal, and pride of community. And I feel like I represent those values, and those are the things that make us the exceptional city that we are. It gives us the competitive advantage over other communities. For those of you who don't know me, I haven't had a chance to meet with yet, please consider the endorsements that I've received from my one-time primary challenger, Merrill Osterman, who's now a teammate of ours, and we're pleased to receive his blessing. Also, John Bell, our current city councilman for District 3, who has served honorably these last 4 years. We're very pleased to receive his endorsement. And then finally, State Senator Mark Messmer, who has really taken Jasper values to the State House where they're needed very much so. We've received his blessing. So these are quality people who have agreed to allow their names to be associated, their good names to be associated with mine. And I don't take that for granted. I will work very hard to continue to earn those endorsements. And I certainly hope to be able to earn your votes and represent you on City Council. Some people feel like their votes don't count. And it wasn't just too long ago in our fair city, we had a bona fide kiss your sister tie for the mayoral race. And every vote absolutely counts. We want to encourage you to get out there, be involved, be engaged, and then keep us accountable once we're in office. Consider the fact that there have been over 1 million soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines who fought and died in American wars. And while every war is different in its own right, every war at the same time is in part in defense of our rights and the Constitution which guarantees them. So please let's honor them and get out there and vote, not only in this election but every single election. And with that, I do kindly ask for your vote, and if I'm fortunate enough to earn it, I thank you in advance, and God bless our fair city. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have met Chad Lueken. Chad is running for Jasper City Council District number 3. Chad, always a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks for being our guest. Thank you for watching 18WJTS Inform. We want to remind you, please get out and vote. Whether you vote for one person or vote for multiples, please get out and vote. Thank you to Chad. Thank you for watching 18WJTS. We're local people watching local people.